Hey everybody, Midnight Absol here. Welcome back to Renegade Platinum. Last time took out some routes took out some encounters that we didn't go over in the previous episode before, right? And we found some pretty interesting Pokemon along the way. Finding a special event Gengar and a special event Rotom in the old chateau over there. Anyways, with that aside, we're getting thudded. Hey, Seamus, you came to see the Pokemon statue, right? I'll take you there. And we don't have a say in this as Barry immediately interrupts us. What the? So this is a Turnus Pokemon statue. Shaping our world. Our time and space in an intertwining spiral. Revered in Sinnoh are the Pokemon of time and space. Sinnoh's myth. Its truth needs an investigation. Pardon me. Stand aside. Oh hey! When we smacked together, a brilliant flash of inspiration came to me. Needs a way to become the greatest trainer. Yeah, that. Listen close. Make certain all your attacks hit. Avoid enemy attacks for sure. You do that, you never lose. You be the invincible trainer. Anyway, go check out the Pokemon statue. See you around. Yep, Barry still has this. We still have this event with interaction with Barry when we first come here. And on the way back, Cynthia stops us. Oh, that device you have. It is a Pokedex? Wow, it brings back memories. Pardon me, but what's your name? Okay, hello Seamus. I'll be sure to remember that name. My name is Cynthia. I'm a trainer just like you. I've been studying Pokemon mythology lately, just out of curiosity. Here in Eternus City, there is a statue of an ancient Pokemon. Have you seen it already? According to the myth, it was an extremely powerful Pokemon. Who knows? You may encounter something like it while traveling with your Pokedex. Oh, I know. Try using this. It should be helpful. And she gets a HM01 cup, which is pretty useless. Which is pretty useless as an actual HM now. However, HM01 isn't completely useless. HM01 isn't completely useless, and I'll point out why. So, going to the bag, TMs, there it is. Going to the bag, as you can see, yes, you do get 99 TM. Just prove a point again, yes, you get 99 of each TM. Cut, you can see it right here. If I scroll to it, check it. It is grass type. Cut is now a grass type move with 25 PP, with 25 uses, 60 power, and 100 accuracy. So yeah, Cut is slightly more useful now. Instead of being just a normal type move, it is now grass. So you can get some use out of it now. Since most grass types learn Cut, it could really come in handy for you. Anyways, that aside, what we're actually doing today. If you remember from before, I talked to the guy over here. He mentioned gardenias out on Route 216. So we need to go find her. We need to go over there to find her. Which we'll be doing in this episode. And maybe taking on the gym as well. So, with that, I'm gonna actually throw Steven in the front of my party. I'm gonna throw Steven in the front of my party here. Let's see. Okay, I've got Ironhead, we're fine. I could have Vincent in the front of my party, but he'll be useful in the gym later, so we'll be fine. We'll be fine on that front. Let's go. Actually, now I think about it, isn't there I think there's an item back here. No? No? I swear there was an item around here. Whatever. I guess I'm thinking wrong. Alright. First off, we got Route 211 over here, actually. Got a brand new route to deal with, and brand new encounters. How fitting that the first Pokemon on the encounter list is Meditite. Now, this Pokemon, I honestly have had mixed feelings about Meditite, and its psychic fighting's a pretty cool type combination, and the fact that you can have it be a decent mixed attacker is also pretty good. However, the problem with this thing in the past has always been that that you can't get the elemental punches except via move relearner. But again, in this game, things are a bit different, and you also get some pretty interesting moves to work with as well. Although for Meditite itself, though, Meditite got a boost to its special attack, so it's slightly more competent at doing that, since it gets moves like Confusion and Hidden Power early on. However, level 22, Meditite's going to get Psycho Cut. Yes, you heard me right, Psycho Cut. You also get High Jump Kick at level 33, at level 31. You also get a Medicham a few levels earlier. You'll get Medicham at level 33 now instead of 37. Also, by the way, you get Zenbud at level 37 with Meditite if you want to wait for that move specifically. You get it at 39 with Medicham instead. Speaking of Medicham, again, Medicham has a boost to its special attack, which is now up to a pretty good 80. So again, you can at least be able to. You can use moves like Psychic if you want to. You also won't be completely screwed if you get a Meditite that doesn't have huge power for its ability. Anyways, that's fine. Via Move Learner, you can get all 3 elemental punches for Medicham if you so wish. Aside from that, not too much else to point out in its moveset, and its abilities are still the same. But hey, this line's always been a pretty interesting Pokemon. And if you don't feel like using a Gallade, try Meditite. It works similar, but has some different. But it can learn some slightly different moves. Plus, you have an easy way to get all 3 elemental punches on a Pokemon already. So yeah. Next new Pokemon on the list. Next new Pokemon on the list is Swablu. This thing is fun. I like this thing. It's not as a Swablu, I guess, to be more specific. Swablu itself is actually pretty bad it's actually a pretty bad pre-evolution to what it becomes later on. However, in this case, Swablu, speak of the devil, there it is, has a few changes to it to make it a lot better to use. And you'll see one of these changes right now, actually. If I go to use Iron Head, it's super effective on Swablu. You might be thinking, wait, what gives? Swablu's a normal flying type. Nope, not anymore. Swablu's fairy and flying now, same type as Togekiss. Another thing to note is that Swablu can now have Cloud 9 or Natural Cure for its ability naturally. It got a slight boost to its special attack and attack stats, so it can deal a slight bit more damage while it's in its current form. It's also compatible with TM88 as well, so there's that. And Swablu's moveset has also been updated with moves that it would normally learn in the later games. Even getting Moonblast at level 31. Yes, Moonblast. If you're crazy enough, by the way, you can get Dragon Pulse at 40, and 46 you get Brave Bird for a Swablu. Do you recommend doing that? Hell no, don't do that. Maybe Dragon Pulse if you want to get that, but everything else, no, not really worth it. But hey, that aside, Altaria, Swablu's evolved form. Dragon and Fairy instead of Dragon and Flying, so no quad weakness to Ice, and it's got the Fairy typing that it gets in its Mega Evolution form. Similar to Lopunny, who we went over previously. You can get moves like Play Rough via Move Learner, which is a nice move. You get Dragon Dance at level 38, Dragon Breath at 35, Dragon Pulse is 42 net for Altaria, and Brave Bird's at 50 for Altaria. You can even get Sky Attack at 54 if you really want that. If you really want that move, you can get Sky Attack. But yeah, some pretty interesting moves there for this little bird. Next up on the list, yet another new Pokemon, Teddiursa. This thing can hit pretty hard. And it's probably one of the more forgotten normal types out there. One of the more forgotten normal types, in my opinion, and I don't understand why. It's some pretty good move. Has some pretty interesting moves to work with. Slash, Night Slash, Cross Chop, Yawn, Rest, Snore, Crunch, Thrash, Play Rough, Close Combat, Double Edge. Actually, that's pretty much all of its good moves. It's some pretty solid moves, and its stats aren't terrible either. It doesn't have a stat buff like a lot of other Pokemon that this game do, but it still does quite a lot. It still can do quite a lot of damage as a Teddiursa or Ursaring. So if you wanted to get a normal type and you don't feel like using some of the more established normal types that you would want to use, try Teddiursa. It's right here, and it could really surprise you. Besides, it's one of the first it's also the first Pokemon you catch in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. Ooh, and Psybeam! I'm also learning Psybeam, that's awesome. I'm gonna replace Confusion with that because why the heck would I not do that? Anyways. And Ross has learned Psybeam. Perfect. And the Ninja Boy Zack is defeated. Perfect. Next up is Natu. This Pokemon. Honestly not sure what to think of. Not sure what to think of Natu. If I'm honest. It's Psychic Fly's a pretty cool type. However, I don't think that it works as well as you think. I mean, you get some pretty good special attacking in this, but special attacking fly types usually have better movesets than this. Anyways, that's not the point. It's not my job to complain about Pokemon. My job is to explain what Pokemon you can find, and how well they might do for you. Natu itself is, again, a good, decent special attack. Natu and Xatu are decent special attackers, and they can get some pretty good moves. You get Confusion at level 14, Air Cutter at 17, Ominous Wind at 19, which is very helpful. Psychic and Wish and Psychic at 25 and 28 respectively. Two very good moves that you probably want to have on your final moveset for this thing. After that, though, there aren't really a whole lot of good moves that Natu gets, but Natu could get that you may want to go for. Same goes for Xatu, aside from at level 54, Xatu learns Hurricane, which is the last good move it gets. Between Psychic at level 30 and level 54 for Xatu, there aren't any really good moves to mention. I mean, do you really want Miracle Eye or Power and Guard Swap or Me First? No, I didn't think so. Anyway, but still, I shouldn't complain. Natu and Xatu can still be a good Psychic type if you want to try something different. Plus, hey, you don't have to worry about those pesky bug types with Xatu, because Xatu will be neutral to them. So hey, there's an extra little thing. Next up, Chingling. Do you even remember this thing existing? I sure as hell didn't remember this thing existing. I've played Gen 4 with all 3 starters, and I didn't remember this thing existing. Anyways, that aside, this thing is interesting. Evolves via Happiness. It's a special attacker. Got a boosted special attack and a boost with base happiness. So it evolves evolve sooner, and it can evolve into Chimecho at any point in the day, and you don't have to worry about evolving it in the morning or whatever. It's some interesting moves as well, like extra it gets an interesting move on extra sensory at level 16, but that's literally it for its good moves. Well, I guess maybe a yawn, but still, it's no good move. It's no good moves at all as a Chingling. As a Chimecho, it doesn't get much better. I mean, as a Chimecho, it doesn't get much better, but at least Chimecho can learn some more moves. You can get Hyper Voice via Mover Learner, which with that boosted special attack stat that Chimecho now has of 110, you could make use of it. You might be able to make use of that. That aside, you get Psychic at level you can get Psychic at level 34. So if you want to try and get your Chingling evolved before a point, make sure it's before level 30. Make sure you evolve it before level 34 to get Psychic. Aside from that, you get Recover. You get Recover at level 43, Hyper Voice at 46, and Healing Wish at 49. If you want to go with that. Aside from that, nothing really interesting for those Pokemon, unfortunately. Kind of a shame. Kind of a shame. You think this thing would have been you think it at least would have been a part Steel type, but nope, doesn't even get that buff in this game. Doesn't even get the buff of getting an extra typing added to it, like other Pokemon. So that kind of sucks. But either way, that's Chingling and Chimecho for you. Next, and there are only two Pokemon I didn't talk about for Route 211, for the west side of 211. Yes, I said west side. There is an eastern side to this. It's on the other side of the mountain. Anyways, two Pokemon I didn't talk about. Machop, which you can find at Machop, which, along with every other Pokemon I previously mentioned, can be found at any point during the day, and you don't need to worry about day or night cycles for any of these Pokemon, unlike some other routes. Anyway, but that aside, Poké Radar is the only other thing to note, and that is Tyrogue. I already went over Tyrogue once. So if you want to hear about Tyrogue, if you want to hear about Tyrogue, then I would recommend going back to I believe episode 2 when we got an egg that could hatch into one of the many baby Pokemon in the game. Tyrogue included. But just a brief recap. If you want, depending on which Pokemon, a brief recap on Tyrogue. If you want, Tyrogue doesn't really get anything. Tyrogue doesn't get really anything good. Tyrogue doesn't get really any good moves at all. So there's that to point out. Normally only learning Tackle. Only just Tackle until it evolves at level 20. However, at least Tyrogue now gets some moves to work with. You can get Fake Out. Tyrogue can have one of any of these following moves: Tackle, Helping Hand, Foresight, Fake Out, Low Kick, Mach Punch, and Rapid Spin. Now, aside from that though, depending on what your stats are of your Tyrogue will determine what it evolves into at level 20. Also, by the way, Tyrogue has two abilities: Steadfast and Guts. If you want, also keep that in mind as well. Anyways, if your Tyrogue's stats are balanced, it'll become, if your Tyrogue's attack and defense are balanced evenly, then it'll become Hitmontop, which can either have Technician, it can have Technician replacing Steadfast, or Intimidate replacing Guts. And Tyrogue gets a few. Well, no, not Tyrogue. What am I talking about? Hitmontop gets some pretty interesting moves like rolling kick, triple kick, rolling kick, triple kick. Jeez, that's a mouthful. Close combat, drill run, bullet punch, and high jump kick for moves, which is pretty interesting. But that's really it for it. Doesn't get a whole lot of good moves, unfortunately. However, However, if you have more attack than defense on your Tyro, you'll get Hitmonlee, which can get Reckless, which removes the recoil from moves, or Limber, which prevents you from being paralyzed. Again, they replace the first. Again, with Steadfast being its first ability slot, Reckless will be the ability you get if you get Steadfast. Guts will become Limber if you get for Hitmonlee as well. Anyways, that aside, Hitmonlee is the more attack oriented one, getting moves like Brick Break, both of the jump kick moves, Blaze Kick, and Mega Kick, and Close Combat for that matter. You can even get Mind Reader if you want to really make sure you don't miss. But anyways, that's Hitmonlee, and Hitmonchan is if you have more defense. Beginning with Iron Fist replacing Steadfast and Keen Eye replacing Guts for abilities. And for Hitmonchan, you get Brick Break at 25, Bullet Punch at 27, Thunder, the 3 elemental punches at level 29, Close Combat at 35, and Mega Punch at 39. Oh, and Sky Uppercut at 43 if you want to use that. But yeah, that's the Hitmon family for you. Went over them once, went over them again just to make sure that just so that way you guys got a little bit of a refresher on what to expect from those Pokemon. Anyways, we have a lot of things to go over. Right here is the Route 211 entrance of Mount Coronet. I could go over the Pokemon here. However, if I did that, we would be here all day. So for continuity, I'm going to say pass. I'm gonna pass on going over encounters here right now. At least for this area. Don't worry, I won't forget this area, and I will go over the encounters before we completely leave Eterna City. Just for right now, I want to skip them just so we can actually do something. Speaking of do something, I can't run away from this thing. Can I please go? There we go. What do I want to do here? You're asleep. Let's put Leafy on out front. Alright, let's see. What's this? Oh, no. There we go. Moonstone. Perfect. Oh yeah, I guess since we have the Moonstone here, I'll quickly mention Moonstone. You can use it on Nidorino, and Nidorino to get Nidoking and Queen respectively. You can also use it on Cleffa, which you can use it on. No, not Cleffa. You can use the Moonstone on Clefairy, which by the way, Cleffa is in this area still, so you can use it. You can use the Moonstone on Clefairy to get a Clefable if you want it. And same goes for Wiggly. Same goes for Igglybuff. If you got it via that egg earlier, you can evolve Jigglypuff into Wigglytuff with it. And that's really it for Pokemon that we've found already that can use the Moonstone. Actually, wait. You can evolve Eevee into Espeon via Moonstone if you have access to that. But we don't have access to breeding, and I assume you would have already used your evolution by now if you already had it. Anyway, TN69 Rock Polish. This move basically just doubles your speed by 2 stages. When you use it, a lot of rock types can use it. Also, High Cleffa. Anyways, ignore. Also, yes, Cleffa's got its fairy type in this game. Don't worry about that. Again, actually, do I have Repel? I should have Repels. I can just use those. This. Alright, so Repel. Actually, now I think about it, you can go down here as well. This area. Do I want to explain what this area does? Okay, I'll just leave this area for now. I'll go over what you can do in this part of Mount Coronet at a later point. Let's just say, just to point this out, there's normally a strength boulder here that if you try pushing it down, you find out that the path is blocked. You can only push the strength boulder from the other side normally. That boulder is now gone, so you have access to that area. That area you can only not get to for a very long time. But we'll go over that at a later point. Right now, let's get through the kit. Right now, let's keep going. Again, normally there will be strength boulders here. There would be a strength boulder there blocking the way, so we couldn't go over here normally. And also the eastern part of Route 211 is through this hole right here. We'll go over that at a later point as well. Again, just want to keep making progress for the time being. I'll explain what you can do. I'll show what you can do over there at a later point. Rare candy. Nice. I recommend saving rare candies, by the way, until near the end of the game. Otherwise, you won't be able to. Otherwise, you'll be kind of wasting them. It's more or less you want to wait till the end of the game till you need the Elite Four, so that way you can get the most out of it at higher levels. Also, Sauce and boosts ground type moves. Just thought I'd mention that. Again, we have this basement area here of Mount Coronet. It's normally the home of Feebas. I'll explain more about this area at a later point. Right now, we've got some other things. Right now, we have some other things to work on. We have some other things to mention on. Also, I guess one thing to mention. I did say that Feebas is here. Feebas is a 100% encounter on the water down here in this basement, no matter which fishing rod you use. Just thought I'd mention that. So if you so badly wanted to use a Feebas, but you couldn't catch it, but you don't have Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire to catch it, or you couldn't find it in any of the newer games, good news, you can find it here, and you can find it here. It'll be at a decent level. It'll be in the high teens when you catch any Pokemon here, and it doesn't matter which fishing rod you have. So that's another good thing to mention. Anyways, Monster goes to level 15, which is nice off of a random Geodude. I was gonna go for that item, but I'm gonna just skip it. And I'm not high enough level to avoid these encounters, so I'm gonna just speed up and get through that. Let's throw Vincent in. That way I run into Pokemon level 20 or higher. Alright, repel again. Let's just get through here. Through here, go this way, and this area. This area we can't do anything with right now. But right here is under Melt Ice. We can't do anything with this area for a very, very long time. But when we can't do something with that area, we'll come back and show that. Anyways, welcome to Route 216. Yep, we have access to we can come here right now to Route 216 and get a whole bunch of new Pokemon right now, Why is Gardenia out here, by the way? You'll see at a later point. But that aside, we have a few new encounters that we can get since we're out here. So since we're here, why don't we go over the new encounters, shall we? Also, by the way, you can't use a bike while you're out here. Just a heads up on that. Just in case you thought you could be clever, you can't. I don't want to use that old Ghetto, so I'll just have to leave that for now. Anyways, also the snow can be deep in some points that will force you to walk instead of run. Anyways, starting with encounters. Snowbird. Actually, hold that thought. Someone is outside with a weed whacker, and I don't know if that weed whacker can be heard. Answer is yes, so I'll do a quick cut and come back once that noise is gone. Also, look at this dude. This dude is skiing the correct way by spinning wildly in circles and flaming wildly in circles. Also, Ice Stone Evolve can allow you to get Glaceon. Can allow you to evolve Glaceon evolve EV into Glaceon whenever you want. Just heads up on that. Anyways, I'll do a quick cut and wait for the noise to subside so that way I can continue. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Back after that interruption. The noise is finally gone so we can continue. Anyways, back to what I was going to start talking about. Snover! This thing is a bit of a glass cannon. It can do some pretty good moves It's got Snow Warning as its ability. It also has Soundproof as its second ability now, by the way. So you don't have to worry about it always summoning hail on your team. But anyways, it has Snow Warning, which makes Blizzard 100% accurate, and the hail sticks around for the entire battle. Gets some pretty good moves to start out with, like Razor Wind and Icy Wind, Ice Shard and Bullet Seed, even Leech Seed as well at level 22. And get some other good moves like Icicle Crash, which is a brand new move for it. However, there's a downside. It's quad weak to fire. And it's not the fastest thing in the world. Same goes for its evolved form, Obama Snow, jeez. Anyway, cannot say that name right to save my life. Anyway, not the fastest thing in the world, so you may want to watch out when trying to use this thing. This line. However, if you can make it work, if you can make it work, you have to fight Gardenia next for our next gym battle. If any Pokemon you catch here could be useful for that gym if you need a temporary team member. Anyways, that aside for Snow. That aside. Next up on the list of ice types is Swinub. Make sure you get Thick Fat and not Snow Cloak. His Thick Fat is awesome, and it basically takes out its weakness to fire, and also it makes ice. It also technically gives it back its resistance to ice as well. Anyways, that's fine. The Swinub line has always been pretty good. Gets some pretty good moves has a pretty cool type combination being ice and ground of all things. So it could definitely cause quite a bit of damage with moves like Earthquake, Ice Shard, Bulldoze, Blizzard, Icicle Crash, things like that. If you teach your Swinub the move Ancient Power, which can be learned by going to the move reminder and teaching it that, and then leveling it up, you can get Mamoswine, who is a tank. Mamoswine is awesome. Can hit hard, can take hits that aren't super effective really well, and it can have really good moves to back it up. Oh no, the Swinub line's pretty good. It has been good, always will be good. Unfortunately, the next new Pokemon on this list is not as good, unfortunately. Snorunt. Balls into Glalie at level 32, doesn't get a base 80 in base. Snorunt has terrible stats. Its ability doesn't have any good abilities either. Glalie, however, did get a bit of a boost. Instead of being held with the dubious honor of having all 80 in every single stat, its stats have gone reworked slightly. It still has 80 HP. Its base stats are now 80. Its new base stats are 80 HP, 110 attack, 110 defense, 60 special attack and defense, and 80 speed. So it got more attack and defense. So it's more suited to be a physical attacker now. Also, it has a new ability as well, Levitate. Also, it can get Ice Body as well, but Ice Body is probably the worst of the two. But I'll let you decide that for yourself on which ability you want. That side, Galady gets some pretty interesting. Galady got some new moves. Got a new move to work with. Well, two of them actually. Icicle Crash and via Movie Learner, Head Smash. So this thing can this thing can now smash itself with a rock type move to absolutely obliterate weaker fire types. Anyways, that side though, Glalie isn't the best Pokemon out there. Although maybe, who knows, maybe you can find a use for it on your team that I can't. But, nevertheless, that is Snorunt for you. That's Snorunt and Glalie for you. Actually, no it's not, because I almost forgot, if you have a female Snorunt, you can evolve it into Frostlass with the Dawnstone. Where can you get a Dawnstone? Well, they're all over the place, and you'll have plenty of time to get one later on. But still, Frostlass is very, very good. It can get Levitate as well, and it gets Levitate as a new. It can now have the ability to Levitate, just like Glalie, and also has its other normal ability of Snow Cloak as well. That side, Frostlass also got a change to its stats. Slightly less 10 less points in base attack, and 30 extra points in base special attack. So an overall 20 extra points in stats, and a lot more special attack to make it a better sweeper. You can get some pretty good if you have a Dawnstone right now, you can get some good moves like draining. You can get some good moves like Draining Kiss, Will-O-Wisp. You get Shadow Ball at 32, Shadow Ball level 32, Ice Beam at 34, Blizzard at 50. There's some really good moves out there for Frostlass to take advantage of. It's just a matter of finding a female Snorunt. That's all you need. Speaking of females, the opposite is true for Sneasel. Don't get a female Sneasel. Get a male one if you want to get the almighty Weavile. If you couldn't tell, I love Weavile, but just by the sounds of that. But anyways, ooh, I'm also learning Draining Kiss. I'm gonna learn that. I'm gonna learn that in Place of Growl, because why not? Anyways, Sneasel, get Technician and Inner Focus for its two abilities now. Technician obviously is really good. Inner Focus works as well in some specific scenarios. Now, saying, if you get a male Sneasel, you can evolve it into Weavile by having it hold the Razor Claw, wherever that is. Anyways, but that aside, aside from the item, Sneasel itself gets some pretty good moves. There's some moves that Sneasel could get that you may want for it. Specifically moves like Ice Shard, possibly Metal Claw if you need a short-term fix for pesky rock types, Slash, Screech, Crunch, and that's pretty much it for its good moves as a Sneasel. But still, Sneasel can hit pretty hard, and it's pretty fast, and it's one of the faster ice types out there. So if you need something temporary for Gardenia, or if you want a speedy dragon killer, Sneasel and Weavile can be your guy. Speaking of Weavile, Weavile itself is by far one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. It's one of my favorite Pokemon. It's my favorite ice type Pokemon. It's not my favorite Dark type. That one I'm leaving for a specific Pokemon we haven't come across yet. Oh, who am I kidding? It's Absol. Absol's my favorite Dark type. But anyways, ignoring Absol, back to Weavile. Weavile gets Technician and Pressure for its two abilities. I would probably go with Technician. I would go with Technician over Pressure, that's for sure. And at level 31, Weavile will learn Night Slash. So if you get a Sneasel, I would recommend trying to evolve it before level 31 to get Night Slash. Unless you're going for Crunch. Unless you're going for specifically Crunch, in which case Icicle Crash at level 37 is the move you want afterwards. But that aside, Weavile can also get some pretty good TMs. It can learn this thing can learn Aerial Ace, Brick Break, Shadow Claw, Poison Jab. You get pretty good moves for a Weavile, especially things like Poison Jab. Heck, even Metal Claw can be useful against those pesky fairy types until you can find said Poison Jab TM. Anyways, that aside, that's Weavile for you. Only other Pokemon to mention is Delibird. Oh dear. This poor thing. Why? Delibird is like far-fetched. Delibird is like far-fetched. You don't want to have this thing. You don't want to have Delibird on your team if you can help it. Honestly, because this thing is a pain to deal. This thing's a pain to deal with, and it's hard. Doesn't have the best moveset either, or stats. But if you want to try something, different, Delibird could work. In theory, you just need to make do with the low, slightly mediocre stats and the slightly mediocre move pool it gets. But if you can get past all that, Delibird is available to you via the Poke Radar here. With that, that's all the encounters for Route 216. As you can tell, and as you can see on your screen right now, I am having some issues. Pretty much everybody, all my good team members are down. All my good team members in this area are down from one reason or another. And I'm stuck with a Leafeon in a place with ice. Not a good idea. In fact, I'm gonna do something I normally don't do, which is speed up here, because I need to get the heck out of here. Or that can happen. Veneeri. Quick attack. Yes! Oh, you have a Vigoroth. I'm dead. Oh, I have a revive. I have one revive. Miro. Ouch. Okay, I'm gonna sacrifice Ralts as well, so that way I can use a potion on Miro. There we go. And come on, Miro. Intimidate. Use Intimidate. Double kick. Alright. Heal. Ow. Heal again. I just need a heal spam. I can't do anything because it's spamming Uproar. Could you not spam Uproar, please? I said please. Ow. Please stop. Oh, come on. Please don't. Okay, no, that's still not enough. Ow. Oh, he lowered my defense. Crap. Ah, damn it. Blacked out. Well, that sucks. Well, I guess I'll cut ahead to getting there. Be right back. I'm back. Took forever to get back over here, but I made it. Barely. I ran into one of the trainers into a trainer I didn't fight, and she kicked my ass. Anyways, we're here at this rest house. And look who's over there. First, okay, I don't know what that is. First, let's heal up. Let's heal up. Pokemon to heal now. Okay. Yes, I know about that. Okay, tugging him also allows us. Anyways, Gardenia. It's so cool in this area. I'm not prepared to alter the snow. Oh hi, I'm Gardenia. I'm Victoria's Gym Leader. What's that? You're a challenger. You're saying that you came all the way from Return City to find me? Oh, I'm so sorry. I love grass types, you see. I came here hoping to catch a Snover. It's a Pokemon that's both grass and ice type. But every time you approach it, it suddenly starts to hail. I wasn't prepared at all. I'll have to try again another time. Anyway, I'll go back to the gym. I'll be waiting for you, trainer. And there she goes. With that done, we can now head back to Eternal City and go fight Gardenia. But given what just happened, and given the fact that I can hear some more distracting noise outside, I think I'll end things off here for now. And next time, we'll finally go take on the freaking gym. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.